guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tarrah, and if you know me in my personal life, you know that I am obsessed with baby names, and I have been for a very long time. It's sort of an unhealthy obsession at this point, and a lot of people have heard me talk about baby names for years. But today's video is baby names I love but will not be using. I've had a notebook in my GoodNotes app on my iPad for years called Baby Name List. And it is literally page by page, A to Z, baby names for boys and girls because I'm literally obsessed. But for some context, I'm currently 23 weeks pregnant with a baby boy, and we've actually had his name picked out for over 4 years. When I found this name 4 years ago, I have never forgotten it. I've always written it down. It's literally written everywhere, all in my notes app, my GoodNotes, everywhere. And we are still so obsessed with it and could not imagine any other name for our baby boy. I think passing down family names is such a cool concept and fun, but we've had this name for so long, and it's not a family name actually. His name is Gatlin Montgomery Garis. So in this video, I thought it'd be fun to share all the baby names that I love but will not be using, and I'm almost positive I will not be using them because I already have all of my future baby names picked out as well for boys and girls. I would describe my taste in names as kind of like a middle ground. They're not too out there, but they're also not simple traditional names either. To kind of give you a vibe of what names I like, these are my dog names. I know they're dog names, but my dogs are like my kids. My dogs' names are Winston River and Waverly Rain, and then we also have a cat that lives with my parents now, but her name is Whiskey Rose. So going with the matching initials, we are doing that with our babies as well. So any future children will also have the initials GMG. I don't know what it is about matching initials. I just love it so much. My mom did it. My brother's name is Travis. My name is Tarrah. And then my husband and his brother also have matching first name initials, Dustin and Derek. So I don't know, it's just kind of a theme and I really love it, but I'm doing first and middle. Kind of crazy, but I love it. I've often realized over the years that a lot of my names sound like cities, places, lakes, landmarks, things like that. If you could find it on a map, I probably would like it as a name. So with all that being said, let's get started. We're going to start out with the boy names. I have always gravitated towards boy names. They are very easy to me. I could literally name a boy in any letter of the alphabet. A girl, on the other hand, girl names are really, really hard for me. So let's get into the boy names. The first name is Declan. I've always liked this name. It's very like trendy, but also not overly trendy and not overly traditional either, kind of that middle ground I talked about earlier. And I just think it's very strong and cool. The next name is Atlas, and this name is gaining some popularity over the last couple of years, but I've loved it for so long. It just sounds so sweet, but yet adventurous, and I just think it's such a cute name. Little fun fact, since all of our baby names are going to have the middle initial M, I almost went a little crazy and did the name Matless just to add an M at the front of this name because I loved it so much. I kind of think it sounded a little bit strange. I don't know, it just didn't sound right to me. Once I wrote it down and stuff, it just didn't look right either. And luckily, my mom actually came up with our second boy middle name. It's already locked and loaded. I'm not gonna share it at this time, but it is so perfect and I'm in love with it. The next name is Brooks. I've always loved this name. It like reminds me of creeks and like a brook, and it's just so like outdoorsy and southern. Another theme of names I've always gravitated towards is last names for first names. I think that is so pretty, and Brooks kind of falls underneath that umbrella. My mom and I have often talked about my current last name. My married last name is Garis, and if one day a great-granddaughter or granddaughter who doesn't have the last name Garis anymore wanted to name their baby boy Garis, we think that is so cute. Moving on to a name that also falls under the last name category is Jonas. And yes, I'm obsessed with the Jonas Brothers and have been since like 2008. It's a thing. But I just love this name in general. It's obviously a biblical name as well. I just think if I would have named a child Jonas, they would have just gotten obviously the whole like, are you named after the Jonas Brothers thing? And I kind of didn't want that. But there's still a possibility I could use this name because I've always thought about using this name for a dog one day. So it's not out of the question. This next name holds such a special place in my heart, and that name is Dallas. This was the name that my husband and I were dead set on when we were in high school and like probably like 19 or 20 years old. We even used to like speak this name out loud. Like this was literally going to be our future son's name. And I'm glad it's not, but I am still really in love with the name. I think it's really sweet. This next name I've always thought is such a cute, sweet, adorable name, and that is Briar. Also going back to names that are on maps and things like that, my street name growing up had the word Briar in the name, and I thought that was really special, and I think that the name is just really sweet in general. This next name I think is so adventurous and cute, and that is Archer. Brooklyn from the channel Brooklyn and Bailey just named her son this, and she calls him Archie, and I think that is just so cute. This next name is quite unique, and you may have never heard of it before, but it's been a top contender for my husband and I for a son for a very long time, and that is Dresden. Once again, following the theme of maps and cities and all that kind of stuff, my husband's father lives 2.5 hours away from us, and there is a place called Dresden that's on the way there that we passed the sign for, and I've always just thought it was a really cool name. The next name that I think is so sweet is Trace. I actually know someone that just named their son Trace. I think it's so adorable, and if we were trying to do some sort of family name, we would never have done like an on-the-nose family name, but something that was kind of an ode to someone, and Dustin's mother is named Tracy, so we thought that that would be kind of a cool way to kind of incorporate her name. This next name is kind of out there, and I would never probably use it, but I just think it's really cute, and it kind of scratches a place in my brain. I don't know what it is, but the name is Denim. I think it's a little bit too out there for me, but I think it's super cute and potentially a dog name one day. Who knows? Another name that I absolutely love is the name Lyndon. One of my best friends from high school just named her son this not that long ago, and I just find it so adorable. I ran across this name around 5 years ago when we picked up our first puppy, Winston, and we had to pick him up in Linden, Tennessee, and I just thought it was so cute and I wrote it down. Now onto the girl names. Like I said earlier, I'm not good at naming girls. I don't have a frilly vibe to me. I've never gravitated towards girl names. They're really hard for me, but here are the ones that I love but will not be using. One thing I do love in girl names is the letter C. For whatever reason, I gravitate towards the letter C when it comes to girl names, so that's where we're gonna begin. The first name is Cambria. I just think this name is so elegant and unique. You don't hear it often, but it's also not super out there either. I first heard this name when I started watching the YouTuber Cambria Joy, like seriously, probably 10 years ago at this point. I still watch her videos right now, and I just think her name is so pretty. This next name is a little unusual and unique, but I think you'll like it if you're an Alabama fan. I'm personally not an Alabama fan, but I think the name is so pretty, and that is the name Crimson. Sticking with the C names, the next name is Colette, and I just think this name is so classy and timeless and cozy and warm. Like, I just love that name so much. I think it's so pretty. And for one last C name, the name Copeland, I think is just so pretty. I've kind of seen this one on the rise. And for boys, spelling it Copeland instead of Copeland, I just think it's so cute. The next name that I love but won't be using is the name Aniston, and I just think this name is so pretty. I think people would immediately go towards like, is it after Jennifer Aniston? And I love Jennifer Aniston, but it's not. I found it through Aniston, Alabama. Once again, a place name, but I think it's just really cute. This next name is kind of a guilty pleasure name because I don't think I would have ever used this name, but I just think it's so cute, and every time I see it, I love it, and that is the name Navy. I've been noticing this name gaining some popularity, and I've actually realized just now that the next three names are all like boating and water names. So the next name is Sailor. This name has also definitely been on the rise in popularity. I think it is so cute, whether you spell it S-A-Y or S-A-I. I think it's just adorable. And then one more water boating name. The next name is Marina. I love this name. This was actually a top contender for when my mom was pregnant with me, but my dad vetoed it, but I still think it is such a pretty name. Next up is the name Bryn. I think it is so simple and cute and just has such a cutesy little vibe to it. And then kind of on the same simple, short vibe is the name Blair. I think Blair is such a cute name for a girl. As I said earlier, my baby name obsession goes really deep. These were actually contenders for if I had twin girls. Naming them Bryn and Blair, I think was such a cute concept. This next name will always hold a special place in my heart, and that is the name Taryn. Now looking back, I could never visualize myself with a daughter named Taryn. It just doesn't fit my vibe anymore. But before we decided to do matching initials for all of our children, we were actually going to do matching initials like my husband would match if we had a son, and then a daughter would match my name. And so we were gonna do Dallas to match Dustin and Taryn to match Tarrah, and I don't love that anymore, but that's what it was when we were like 18, 19. But anyways, those are all the baby names that I love but will not be using, and I've always loved watching these videos, and even though my names have been concrete for probably 4 years now, I still go back and watch these videos because I just find it so interesting to see other people's like name styles and vibes that they enjoy. I would genuinely love to know what types of names you guys love, so if you have any favorite baby names, drop them in the comments below. Or if you don't have any specific names, just drop in the comments kind of what your vibe is, like what kind of names do you gravitate towards. Or if you're pregnant and expecting like me, what is your baby's name if you've already announced it? Drop it in the comments below. Anyways, that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you next Tuesday. Bye guys.